a horrible picture. The dollar is collapsing. We're losing the war. I have a question for you on the Savage Nation. You have gangsters who have bankrupted America in the banking domain. You think because they don't wear a black mask, they're not criminals? You're telling me the people who create the policies are all honest? You're telling me that the bankers on Wall Street who sacked the currency are not criminals? Goldman Sachs to be paid $1 billion if CIT fails. This just came out today. Goldman Sachs stands to receive a payment of $1 billion, while U.S. taxpayers would lose $2.3 billion if embattled commercial lender CIT files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, people familiar with the matter said. In other words, how did this happen? They wrote the law. They hired the pimps who went into the White House, and the pimps who worked for them said, okay, we'll do whatever you want. You pay our bills through campaign funds or whatever. There was a $3 billion rescue finance package that Goldman extended to CIT on June 6, 2008, right? And then they wrote a bill that says if they go bankrupt, we get $1 billion, you get nothing. What is this all about? What happened to our country that a group of slimy bankers from Martha's Vineyard could run this country off the rails? To the point, I don't mind if they were able to run the country I don't mind if they even robbed the country. I expect that from vermin from Martha's Vineyard and the Upper East Side. I expect nothing less from the vermin of Wall Street. Nothing less. They're gangsters. You never saw the movie Wall Street, who they are? We know who they are. But things went along fairly well. They robbed enough and they left enough. But this latest generation of vermin on Wall Street is so criminal that they left nothing for anybody. They sucked every dollar into their filthy silk suits. And now the Arabs, the Chinese, French, Russians are saying, wait a minute, this currency is shot. We don't want anything to do with it. The gangsters have bankrupted the currency. Now, when you add to that picture the money trader who put Obama in power, the man who created Media Matters, who is probably selling the dollar short as we speak, busting out America, I ask you a simple question, a very simple question. What should we do in Afghanistan? Now, this is germane to this whole economic problem that we have. Make no mistake about it. Wars have enriched nations in the past when they were run by rational men who understood to the victor belong the spoils. And wars have bankrupted nations in the past, either when they lost the war, as in the case of Germany in World War I, that was bankrupted by the war because the League of Nations forced them to pay reparations, and that, of course, led to Adolf Hitler's election. And nations have also won wars and gone bankrupt when they're run by incompetent, corrupt presidents of the type we just had in the White House, George Bush. He had his contractor buddies in there for 8 straight years, milking the system dry. After all, how much can you pay for a war? Is there no limit to how much the war cost us in Iraq? So you say, all right, so Obama was elected. He was going to straighten these things out. One of the reasons he was elected was he was an anti-war president. But wake up. He already sent 25,000 more troops before he even got the ink was dry on the presidency. Now they want another 40,000. I see Lyndon Baines Johnson all over again. 25,000, 35,000, 40,000, 50,000. So I ask you a question. A, what are we doing in Afghanistan? Because I still don't know. I keep hearing rationales such as, well, we're there because we can't give it a safe haven to al-Qaeda. If al-Qaeda gets a safe haven, it will ennoble the Islamo-fascists. They'll feel victory. Sure, they'll feel victory. When you have one cowardly president after another, of course they're going to feel empowered. You know, 3 B-2A bombers out of Missouri could end this whole problem in a few hours. All they got to do is have a leader, a commander-in-chief who says, all right, guys, we've had enough of these throwback 15th century woman-hating people. That's the end of the road. You've got the launch codes. We want 3 bombers launched out of Missouri, and we want the entire region of Krapistan eliminated from the planet. We don't care if there's a living plant left in it. We want Krapistan eliminated. We'd have 500 years of peace on the planet. That's never going to happen. Do you understand that's never going to happen? If that's never going to happen, then what will happen? I'll tell you what will happen. Krapistan will get the bomb. And Krapistan will knock us off the planet. Krapistan will take us down because that's the world you live in. We don't live in the Ivy League of Barack Hussein Obama and Michelle Obama. We don't live in the Ivy League where people can bend down to him and get on their hands and knees because the great man has arrived. Oh, yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. Now he's in the real world, and the man is like a fish out of water. He doesn't know what the heck he's doing. On any level, the man doesn't know what he's doing. He has done nothing right since he's become president. The people are screaming out. The only people supporting him are the hacks who will make money off this guy. And the other people who are screaming for him are the outright American-hating communists. Everybody else does not want this man's policies jammed down their throats. They see what a jokester he is. The man expends the president's prestige by flying on Air Force One with a TV star to peddle the Olympics as a lobbyist for a city in the year 2016? It's unheard of. Never happened before. Oh, I heard that Rio sent their president. Great. Now we have a president who's equal to a third world Brazilian president. Isn't that wonderful? Brazil sent their president. Isn't that wonderful? So now the U.S. president expends his prestige by flying as a lobbyist for Chicago. And we're not supposed to notice what this man has done, how he has sullied the presidency by his behavior, bowing down to the Saudi king and taking a piece of gold around his neck like a rap star who just performed in front of the king, apologizing across the globe month after month. If that's not enough insult to our dignity, what comes next? He flies to Copenhagen to peddle the Olympics as a lobbyist, and he fails. What was that all about? Why did he fail? Why did the U.S. come in last? If this man was so great and so smart, somebody set him up for a fall. That's my opinion. Let me repeat that in case you missed it. Somebody misadvised this egomaniac about his relative standing in the world. And somebody sent him on a fool's mission. Somebody within his inner circle said, oh, yeah, go over to Copenhagen. You need a victory right now. You'll come back. You'll win the appointment of a Chicago for the Olympics, and then you'll get your health care bill through, and then go global warming. Then you'll grant amnesty to 25 million illegal aliens. Go ahead. Go to Copenhagen. Who advised him to do that? Who was the genius who said, go over there, you'll win, and they wound up last? Was it the great Axelrod? Tell me, who was it? The great genius from Brooklyn, Mr. Axelrod, who sent them over there? Who advised him? And why would they tell him he was going to win when he came in last? So Obama now has the lowest prestige in American history of any president in modern history. And now he's trying to push socialized medicine, Cuban-style health care. Well, why don't you send that fat slob Michael Moore to Havana for liposuction and let him come back and tell us how good Cuban medical care is? Okay, write that one down. Savage says Fatso, Michael Moore, Fatso should go to Havana for liposuction and then come back and tell us how good the treatment was. Write it down. Put it down. Quote it. Quote it. See if I care. Savage says Fatso, Michael Moore, should go to Cuba, to Havana University, for liposuction. And after the liposuction, he should come back to America and let us know how wonderful the Cuban medical care system is, because that's what they're trying to fraudulently push down your throat, in my opinion. Now, do I want health care reform? Sure, I want health care reform. What kind of health care reform do I want? Oh, I can give you 5 different things we need. Let's start with tort reform. Get the lawyers out of the health care system. No more lawsuits over $250,000. You get those vermin out of the system, and you got the best health care reform you could ever ask for. Get the vermin out of the health care system. Get the vermin out, and then hire 1,000 lawyers to go after the criminals who are robbing the health care system blind.
Savage.